you don't need $1 million to earn something special in GTA Online. Today I'm showing you 10 of the best cars under $1 million that are fast, fun, and pretty underrated. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and let's get straight into it. Starting off strong, we have the Zentorno. This one is definitely not underrated, but for a price of $725,000, it is definitely worthwhile. It's fast, aggressive, and still holds up pretty nice in 2025. In terms of its performance, for this price, you guys are getting an extremely good car. A massive advantage the Zentorno has will be the missile lock-on jammer. If you guys put this on the Zentorno using your vehicle workshop inside the agency, things like the Oppressor Mark II's homing missiles and any other homing missile will not be able to lock onto the Zentorno, making this a very practical choice for public sessions. However, the Zentorno does not have any armor, so if any of these homing missiles do catch you, even just hit you by chance, you will be calling Moore's Mutual Insurance pretty fast. The back of the Zentorno also has some really nice coverage, allowing you guys to shoot people behind you and making it really difficult for them to shoot you. Altogether, the Zentorno just looks really nice. The performance of the vehicle, even the price, is pretty reasonable, I would say. And now with that missile lock-on jammer, I definitely think this is still a really nice choice. Next up, we have the Turismo Classic. This is pretty similar to the Zentorno in its price at $705,000. The Turismo Classic really does stand out to me. I really do like how it looks. It also handles very well, and a great thing that you can do with the Turismo Classic, if you guys play on the expanded and enhanced edition of GTA Online, you can apply Howe's special work upgrades, but just bear in mind, if you guys do that, you are easily spending over $1 million, which kind of defeats the point of the video. Unfortunately, the Turismo Classic will not have any Amani tech upgrades like the missile lock-on jammer, so if you do play in public sessions or even play in different missions, you have to be really careful. I would still say this is a good choice, but I also think it comes down to your personal preference. For example, I love how this vehicle looks, so for me at least, this was an instant purchase. Another great car for under $1 million will be the base version of the Banshee, which is either free or just over $100,000. The Banshee itself is honestly pretty unique. It does have some different upgrades that you guys can do. Just like the Turismo Classic, you can put on the HSW upgrades, or alternatively, you can use the Benny's upgrades, which will completely transform the vehicle's look. Not only is the Banshee an iconic car, but if you guys really like customizing, I would definitely recommend checking out the Benny's upgrades for this thing, or of course throw on the HSW upgrades, and this will transform the Banshee into one of the best cars in GTA Online. However, just like the Turismo Classic, the Banshee also suffers the same, with it not having the Amani tech upgrades. So if you guys play in public sessions, this might not be a good choice, but still a really nice choice in terms of its price, all of the upgrades it can have, and with it being one of the most iconic vehicles. Next up, we have another Benny's car. This will be the Elegy. You can get this for completely free or $95,000, so potentially just a little bit cheaper than the Banshee if you have to buy this. And where this vehicle really stands out to me at least will be the Benny's upgrade, which will cost you under $1 million at $904,000. And out of pretty much all of the Benny's vehicles, I would definitely say that this is one of the better ones. If you do purchase this upgrade, it will turn the standard Elegy into the Elegy Retro Custom, completely changing how this vehicle performs and of course how it looks. Considering you can pick up the stock version of this for free on $95,000, I do think that this is so worthwhile. Just upgrading it to the Retro Custom version, one of my personal favorite upgrades, almost across all of the vehicles in GTA Online. First of all, I love how it looks. I also love how it takes corners. Even the top speed is not bad, but just remember this will not have any Amani tech or any explosive resistance. But if you do like the look of this vehicle, whether it be the standard version or the upgraded custom version, I would say it is worth it. If you need a car that keeps you alive during missions, a really nice option here would be the Armored Kuruma. In my experience playing GTA Online, especially in a lot of different missions, the Armored Kuruma is by far the best vehicle to use, and this is really down to the fact that the majority of the vehicle is completely bulletproof, barring some slits in the window. The Armored Kuruma will cost you $525,000, which is a really nice price for this type of car, but what I think is the most underrated purchase would be the standard Kuruma at a really nice $95,000. Of course, the standard Kuruma will lose out on all of that bulletproof resistance, but just based on how the standard Kuruma looks and also performs, I still think this is a really worth it choice. I mean, to purchase this for under $100,000 is honestly just so nice. However, just remember, if you do that, you cannot upgrade your standard Kuruma. You will have to purchase the armored one separately. So potentially something to consider consider, I think either one of these vehicles is extremely nice, specifically the armored version. Also remember, the armored version is not explosive resistance, so I would only recommend using this in missions and not public sessions. Now obviously with me including the Kuruma and the armored Kuruma, I think this next choice is a little bit obvious, but it will be the Duco Death. You can pick up this vehicle for free, and where the armored Kuruma sort of fails with its explosive resistance, this is where the Duco Death really is a little bit better. First of all, it is of course free, it is pretty fast, bullet resistant around the majority of the vehicle, and it will have some explosive resistance. If you are just starting GTA Online, this is the vehicle that I would recommend, and the Duco Death has actually got a little bit better recently because Rockstar Games did put on the missile lock-on jammers, so if you do manage to pick up the agency, put on the missile lock-on jammer with its explosive resistance of 2 RPGs and the missile lock-on jammer, you guys will be surviving everything. This will be a great choice. Just keep in mind you can still get shot out of this vehicle, especially at the front, but even still with all of its resistances and the price with it being free, I would genuinely say this is one of the best vehicles that you can get. Another solid pick for a vehicle under $1 million will be the standard Sultan. You can purchase the standard Sultan for $12,000. I mean, at this point it really should just be free, and the Sultan can be upgraded at Benny's for a price of $795,000, so still under this $1 million mark. If you do upgrade the Sultan, it will turn into the Sultan RS, and the Sultan RS is an incredible vehicle. The acceleration, handling, just everything coming together really does complement this vehicle really well. Just remember, this vehicle is not bulletproof and it has no explosive resistance or Romani tech, but I would definitely say that this is very similar to the Banshee in terms of how iconic this is. It is one of the main staple vehicles in the GTA series. I still remember getting the Sultan RS in GTA 4, so this one really does have a place in my heart. The next car that I wanted to mention is probably one of the most underrated ones, and it will be the Shafter V12. You can purchase this for $116,000. Honestly, a really nice price, and this is by far one of the fastest sedans in GTA history. The Shafter V12 has an insane top speed. I think it is also really clean looking. There is also an armored version of the V12, which you guys can select on the website. In terms of armor, it's not really amazing or anything. You will be able to take 2 RPGs, but even still a really nice option if you guys favor the armored vehicles. If you guys have not tried the V12 for only $116,000, it is something that I would suggest, and if you have never used the V12, I think that you will be pretty surprised at the top speed. Next up, we now have our 9th vehicle, and I decided to pick the Sterling GT. The Sterling GT is just below that threshold of $1 million at $975,000, and the main reason I included this is because I do think this is one of the most unique vehicles. Just the sound of the Sterling GT alone really just separates it. It can also have the HSW upgrades if you guys play on next gen, and this will turn this thing into an absolute monster. However, bear in mind, if you do put on the HSW upgrades, this thing will cost you guys a ton of cash. And better yet, if you do put on the off-road tires, the Sterling GT actually does handle a little bit better, especially over different bumps in the city or the sidewalks. The Sterling GT can also have the missile lock-on jammer, but once again, just bear in mind you will be spending a little bit more cash. But if you guys have the money for this one, I definitely think this is good. Just having both the HSW and missile lock-on jammer is now just so useful. Last but not least, I decided to pick the Turismo R. We already have a Turismo on this list. However, I think the Turismo R is still an incredible car. You can either pick this up for free or $500,000. First of all, the Turismo R just looks really nice. I wish we got some more variations of this supercar version priced around this amount. Of course, we just got the Turismo Maggio, which is still really nice, but I think it is really overpriced. In terms of performance, the Turismo R is still really high up there. So if you do manage to get this for free or even $500,000, I think that is worth it. Unfortunately, the Turismo does not have any sort of special upgrades. I really wish that Rockstar just added the missile lock-on jammer at least to make this more viable in public sessions. At this point, I have covered 10 vehicles under $1 million. However, I also wanted to include some different bikes. So I picked 3 bikes, which I think are honestly so nice as well. First up, we have for the Hakachu drag at just under $1 million. I think this is an absolute steal, especially if you guys play on next gen with the HSW upgrades. This becomes one of the best options to use for time trials and altogether just getting around the city. Another bike which is free will be the Carbon RS. This will be great for those of you guys starting GTA Online and potentially want to pick up a bike. This thing handles really nice. It is relatively fast, obviously nothing compared to the Hakachu drag, but still a good option. And then probably the best value bike in terms of performance, how it looks, the price of it as well, will be the Batty 801, another really iconic pick. The Batty 801 also has the mist-height lock-on jammer, and not many bikes have this feature, and for only $15,000, I do genuinely think that everyone should have the Batty 801. So yeah guys, that will be all of these options in this video. I'm really intrigued to hear your thoughts on this list. Do you guys maybe agree with some of these vehicles and why? Or maybe you guys don't agree at all and you have some different suggestions? To give my final opinion, I do actually think that the Duco Def is probably the best car in terms of value and what you guys get out of it. And of course, the best bike in my opinion would probably be the Batty 801, which might be surprising for some of you guys. I still think it is a really solid pick. Make sure to leave a comment below and let me know if you guys have any vehicles I missed or any vehicles that you would recommend to others. And if you went on to enjoy this video or found it useful in any way, shape or form, leave a like. I always appreciate your support. And if you are new here, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.